Welcome everybody to the Chicago Catholic Hockey League Network right here on YouTube for the CCHL Game of the Week. Good to be back on the air as we are in Rolling Meadows at West Meadows Ice Arena for a clash between the Notre Dame College Prep Dons and the St. Ignatius Wolfpack. My name is Dylan Ward, and I'll be alongside Mike Doherty for the remainder of the night. But at this moment, Mike is down there on the Notre Dame bench getting ready to have a conversation with the coaching staff. So, Mike, take it away.
Thanks, Dylan. All right, Coach. Obviously, you got a really good team on the other side. What's the focus? What's the message to the group today?
Just to work hard. I think last time we maybe not the greatest effort, so just to work hard.
And what have you seen from your group so far this season? Obviously, it hasn't necessarily been the start you want, but what's the message moving forward to try and right that ship?
There's a couple games we've played really well, a lot of games we've played really bad, so I guess the message here, try to get one of those games we played really well in.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Dylan, back to you.
Thank you very much, Mike. As warm-ups continue here at West Meadows Ice Arena, it is J&M Media's first ever trip to this rink in Rolling Meadows. Plenty of seats here. I'm talking maybe 15 rows of seats all the way from one end of the ice to the other. We are in a great spot up here. Let's take a look at some of those Notre Dame headshots. The Dons will be wearing their green uniforms here on their home ice. St. Ignatius wearing their white uniforms. Of course, they don't have names on their jerseys, home or away. Makes our job a lot easier up here, but we will get through, obviously. And one thing I like about the Notre Dame sweater is they've got the Montreal Canadian style stripe going from or all the way around with their jersey right in the center. And now Mike's gonna hop back on the headset and join me back up high with me. And we definitely heard the Notre Dame coach praise St. Ignatius, and he's looking for a good fight for his team. Notre Dame has went off to a nice start in the CCHL play, but they have not been living up to their expectations lately. And the only other time these two teams met this season, it was a 9-1 win for St. Ignatius. 6 goals in the first period for the Wolfpack. So no warm-up clock.
Sorry.
Here at West Meadows Ice Arena, they are keeping time by hand. And the clock has expired here, and we will be set for hockey in just a moment. St. Ignatius, the away team, and of course, Mike, Notre Dame playing here at West Meadows Ice Arena. Yeah, a little bit of an interruption from a parent there, but Notre Dame playing their home games here at West Meadows Ice Arena, splitting some time here and at Centennial Ice Rink, Illinois. Played at Mount Prospect Ice Arena last season, no longer doing that, so they will they'll look to find a permanent home here as the season rolls along. But for now, games here at West Meadows and Centennial. This one happens to be here at West Meadows.
Yeah, it's tough to kind of playing a role of a nomad here, bouncing around to a few different rinks. But these kids are used to it. They don't care. They're excited to play hockey no matter what rink they're at. So they got a good test here against one of the best, probably on paper the best team in the Catholic League right now. So it'll be exciting to see how they're able to match up and play with this group. But, my first time seeing St. Ignatius this year, so I'm excited to see what they can bring as well.
It's mine too, and they were definitely a powerhouse last season. They were Kennedy Cup champions. It was actually their first ever title, if you could believe that. They were able to knock off Bennett in the championship series via a 2-game sweep. So, and they've picked up right where they left off. They are a perfect 8-0-0 in the CCHL and a 16-7 record in terms of overall.
Yeah, and a transition as well behind the bench with a new coach, Matt Smith, obviously leaving to go to be a video coach for the Buffalo Sabres. So congrats and good luck to him. But this group has picked up, like you said, picked up right where they left off, haven't missed a beat. As expected, right? They lost a decent amount of seniors, but the way that Matt Smith built this program before he left, he built it for depth, he built it for longevity, and you see that with the amount. They had 18 seniors on that group last year, and obviously a few returners, but they had a JV team that also won the Kennedy Cup at the JV level. So more than deep enough to continue this success. And I think that the expectation in that locker room and on that bench right now is to win another Kennedy Cup this year.
Also, don't forget, you pointed out the coaching change. The assistant, Spencer Montgomery, gets bumped up to the head coach position. Of course, he is the youth hockey director with the Chicago Blackhawks, in charge of all those rivalry series games. We got 2 of them in the CCHL coming up next weekend, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Let's focus on the game at hand. We're underway. There's going to be a penalty right off the bat as Tiernan Ryan gets tripped up. And talk about an early penalty 6 seconds into the hockey game.
Yeah, it seemed like he obviously got tripped up right away trying to get the puck there, but early whistle, early chance for Ignatius here.
Well, there's only 2 players on the Notre Dame side with double digits in terms of penalty minutes. Michael Johnson is one of them. He will have a seat for the next 2, and we're going to get an early look at the St. Ignatius power play. So far, 8 power play goals on the season for the Wolfpack. That is tied for first in the CCHL. They will work with the puck in their attacking zone to our left. Up high at the right circle, this shot taken by Jack Reiner is saved by the Notre Dame starting goaltender Hugh Clark. On the other end, the starter for the Wolfpack is going to be Cole Jackson.
Yeah, good opportunity for Cole too. First year as a varsity hockey player, first year as varsity goalie, so good chance for him to get a start here tonight. 2-0-0,
1.78 goals against average and an .857 save percentage for Cole Jackson. Down to our right, St. Ignatius looking to set something up here on the power play, waiting to collect that puck. And entering the zone for the Wolfpack is Ryan. He's the guy that drew the penalty. Goes to the far side, now in the corner, it's Victor Ventura. The 5-point man this season so far, unable to hang on to the puck. Notre Dame will get a clear.
Yeah, Coach Spencer Montgomery was really high on him before this game, so excited to see what he can bring tonight.
Now here come the Wolfpack again. Coming into the zone is Ryan. He will try a stretch ice pass, but a nice stick in there by Matthew Miskovich, the defenseman, and he forces the clear. Only 45 seconds to go on this Wolfpack power play. Just 1 shot on goal so far. They'll try for another here as this cross ice pass gets intercepted. It's at the skates, then a shot towards the net. Looked like it was a save. Here's another long one. That hit something on its way, but staying sharp was here Hugh Clark making the save.
And a really good first minute on the penalty kill by Notre Dame there. Breaking up a lot of passes on the rush, not really letting them generate anything in that way, but good job by St. Ignatius kind of moving it around, penetrating the middle of the ice there to generate a nice chance.
Another attacking zone faceoff for the Wolfpack is pulled back by the Dons, but they're going to get possession back. The Green Sweaters steal it away, but then getting it back one more time is Luke Vega. Number 47 is the highest jersey number on this team. Now it comes back out to the right point. Now left circle, getting it back is James Gracie. Over to the right side, here's a shot, and that hit something funny. Spencer Moynihan with the shot, and it wouldn't go. He gets it back again. Moynihan shoots, and that's deflected high. Notre Dame's going to grab it, and they're going to look for a breakaway. They're going to get it. Here's Johnson, in all alone. He shoots, and a big save made by Cole Jackson. That was a textbook, give it to the guy coming out of the penalty box type of play.
Yeah, really good heads-up play there to get that to headman that puck to the guy coming out of the box, and an even better save by Cole Jackson on the other end to keep this game 0-0.
So after the first couple of minutes of this one, he wasn't tested at all because of his team being on the man advantage. Comes up with a big save. Obviously, Notre Dame looking for a good start. Last time these two teams played on October 1st, St. Ignatius took a 6-0 lead in the first period and cruised to a 9-1 final. They will battle for the puck along the end boards. Coming out with it is Notre Dame. They will send it the length. This should be an icing, and there is the whistle. 14:02 remaining in period number 1. Scoreless to this point. 4 shots on goal for the Wolfpack and 1 for the Dons.
Yeah, and considering Notre Dame basically started this game down a man, pretty good response by them. Good kill to start. Like Dylan mentioned, not a good start in that first game, so I'm sure that was a big message in the locker room to get a good start here this afternoon, and that's what they did.
St. Ignatius controls again in the slot. The Dons will try and get it out. Adamski gets in there. Stealing it away are the Wolfpack, and they get it back out to the point. It's Eber. His pass intercepted, and it's punched out to neutral ice by Adamski. Not far enough for icing, so St. Ignatius will grab it and reset. This will be an icing as the missed pass goes all the way down, and for the first time of the game, the Dons will get an attacking zone faceoff.
Yeah, and such an important part of breaking pucks out of your own zone is that first pass from the D to the winger. We see an errant pass there, but that really comes down to the forecheck and guys being in position, working hard, staying on their toes in order to force those turnovers. So that's something Notre Dame really needs to do, and that's what the Notre Dame coach mentioned before the game is working really, really hard offensively to try and create as much as they can.
Face-off is a clean win by St. Ignatius, but getting it back immediately is Notre Dame. Here's Quinn Hester at the left point. Now it goes down below the goal line. It's Dietzig. Now far side, half boards. It goes down to the corner again, but St. Ignatius looks like they're going to grab possession here. It's Michael Hollub getting a lead pass out. They've got a 2-on-1 with the puck is Ryan. He will take the shot from the left side, and it's a save made. He had Austin Haynes to his right, but elected to take the shot anyhow.
Yeah, and when you're playing a team that on paper is better than you, that you lost to by such a substantial margin previously, it's important not to pinch unnecessarily. We see a strong side pinch, meaning the puck on the right-hand side and that right-hand D stepping. It's really important for these D to get out and just defend, not give up any odd man breaks, because that's how they're going to get beat in this game.
Just off the face-off, this will be a Dons icing. We'll do it again. 13 minutes on the dot to go in the first period.
And I think that's something that Notre Dame's going to be okay doing. I'd imagine we're going to see a lot of that today, especially in a 0-0 hockey game. You don't want to get stuck in your zone. Get fresh guys out there as often as you can.
Face-off win at the left circle, and another shot towards the net. Covered up by the goaltender. Will get another face-off.
Notre Dame is doing a great job in front of their own net. The goalie's not really not having to see through a lot of traffic. Everything's pretty clear. He's able to make that first save, not giving up a lot of rebounds. So good job by him to start this game too.
Left side now back up to the point. It's Dunley. He shoots and that hit the post. Close look for St. Ignatius, but they beat the goaltender, not the post. Now down to the corner. Ventura's got it. He thought about coming in on net. Tries the wraparound instead. Wouldn't go, and then looking to clean that up is Luke Vega, and that wouldn't work for him either. But St. Ignatius very clearly outplaying the Dons in the early portion of this game. Notre Dame gets this one into St. Ignatius' zone, but they're easily able to get it back. Ventura leads the charge. Over the blue line, tried to get around Foley. He did, but lost the puck. And then it goes to the far side. Kept in the zone. Here's a shot. It was a floater from the right point off the stick of Dennis Fensel, I believe, but it was stopped by the goaltender.
And looks like we're going to get a look at that shot off the post. As you can see, it's exactly what I just mentioned, where they weren't able to get any traffic. There's traffic right there in front of the net, in front of the goaltender, and that puck's able to beat him. Obviously doesn't get past the post, but really good job getting traffic in front to create that chance.
Notre Dame able to clear this one out. No score, 5 minutes into the game. St. Ignatius failed power play attempt as they look to keep trucking. Here's a shot that gets partially blocked. Chasing it into the corner is Steinlauf. Below the goal line, they will try and get it back up high. Steinlauf now with it. Up to the point, winding up and firing a slap shot with plenty of speed is Chinland, but the save is made by Clark. Now left side point. Here's a shot taken by Rogers that was blocked on its way. St. Ignatius continues to pressure, absolutely dominating offensive zone time, but Notre Dame's trying to cook something up here. It's Del Foss coming out of the zone. He gets taken down, no call, and St. Ignatius will get the puck back. Here's a miss pass, and it sits in neutral ice and eventually picked up by Reiner. Comes back out to neutral. They'll tag up. Notre Dame will get it out to center ice again. 5-1 are the shots in favor of the Wolfpack. This pass to the right side. It's Chinland with it. Right circle shot. Lost his stick in the process. Pardon me, a Notre Dame stick goes out of the reach of one of the skaters, and it gets sent all the way down. A turnover, and Charles Duffy gets in there. Pass out to the point. Miskovich shoots. That was blocked on its way. Here's a centering pass and a great look for the Dons, but Owen Weber, that pass is a little too hot to handle for him. The Dons now give it up, and St. Ignatius will come back. Nice stick check there, ripping it out. That was Steven Adamski, and he's able to get it back into St. Ignatius' end. Here's a big collision on the end boards. That's Duffy. He's slow to get up, but he will stay out for the shift, it appears. Now St. Ignatius into the zone. They've got a 3-on-2 partially. All they can do is get that puck down below the goal line, and Notre Dame will get it out. Notre Dame's doing a great job at limiting the good looks for St. Ignatius in spite of playing most of this game so far in their defensive end. Now here's another collision by the St. Ignatius bench. Meanwhile, coming in with the puck is Victor Ventura. He'll go down below the goal line, and Foley able to grab it for Notre Dame. This one sent out. It will not go far enough for icing, I don't believe. And that puck actually picked up a little bit of speed on its way, but no call was made. 9:15 to go. Scoreless first period here in Rolling Meadows. Temporary home for the Notre Dame Dons here at West Meadows Ice Arena. It's kept in the zone, high slot. Loose puck. Picked up by Sletcher. He will backhand it down. Ladewski below the goal line. Got it back for Sletcher. Sletcher tried to go back to Ladewski, but ultimately a scrum up against the boards, and the loose puck squeaks out. Another scrum. Board battle. Comes back out to the left point for Notre Dame. Now here's Ladewski going down below the goal line. It's Slechter with it. And St. Ignatius just barely not able to get it outside of the zone. They will actually sort of circle back and reset here. This pass missed. It'll go all the way. No icing as it was tipped, so Foley will pick it up and get it out to neutral. This one comes all the way on net. Zygmunt racing in there, trying to beat Rogers in a race, one-on-one, but he's not able to. And Cole Jackson has not been tested very much. The only shot he's faced was on that breakaway right out of the penalty box. Now at the corner, this one's centered, but nobody home. St. Ignatius will get it out and go for a change. At least one guy will. That's Michael Hollub. And the Dons back in their own end, looking to set something up here. Mike, at this point in the game, the first time these two teams met at Fifth Third Ice Arena, it was already 3-0 St. Ignatius. So Notre Dame has got to like this start so far. Here's a one-timer, but it was a fan shot from Chinland. Now Kadlik got it out. Zygmunt looked like he was going to try and race after that, but he was out of gas. He'll go to the bench instead. Through the legs there for Chinland as he skates with the puck, still with it. He's looking to go coast to coast as he cuts to the slot. Lost the puck. Bailing him out, though, were his teammates. Now Luke Vega with it. Back up high to the point. Here's a wrister that was blocked by his own man. Johnson didn't know where the puck was, then found it. Pinned up against the boards. Two guys in each sweater battling for possession. Then out of nowhere, swooping in and getting a shot away was Ryan, but it goes high. Good pace to this game. There were plenty of whistles in the first few minutes, but I believe we've been playing for at least 2 to 3 minutes now without one. As Notre Dame's trying to rush up ice with it. It's Delphas. He tried to pass across to Johnson, but St. Ignatius gets a stick in there. Now the Wolfpack through neutral ice. Around one man is Ryan. In on net, short side. He tried a shot, but getting the pad down was Clark. Wolfpack still with possession. Don's trying to fight for the puck, but it comes out to the far side corner and back up to the point. It's Ryan. He shoots, deflected, and missed the net as a result. Trying to clear it out. It's kept alive. Delphas pokes it ahead. He's taken down. There's not going to be a penalty called, and we'll keep playing here. 5:50 to go. Over the blue line is Chinland. He goes all the way down low, and Notre Dame able to grab it. It's Delphas on the near side corner. Given up. Here's a quick shot by Jack Reiner. Deflects high and into the netting. And our first whistle in quite a while. 5:37 to go in the first. Still scoreless.
Yeah, I think it was like a 7-minute period there without a whistle. But what I was going to say is a really good segment there by Notre Dame. Again, you hit it right on the head, Dylan, a little bit ago where you said a lot of time spent to our left here in their defensive zone, but not a lot of good chances. The few times that they have had the puck in their offensive zone, they've generated a few chances. So they just got to keep working, stay patient on the defensive end, not give up any of those big chances, keep everything to the outside. When it does get in the middle, make sure you're clearing pucks out, clearing bodies out as much as you can. But they're doing a good job of hanging tight here.
Take possession off this faceoff. It's sent down. No icing is the call. Adamski pressuring. But getting away with the puck is the Wolfpack. It's Victor Ventura, returning varsity skater, leads the charge over the blue line. Centers it. Here's a backhand try by Ryan, but that pass just about an inch off, and they couldn't connect. St. Ignatius, if you round up to the closest whole number, is averaging 5 goals per game. Here's a shot towards the net, tipped by Ventura. And a quick save by the goaltender Clark. He had to be alert there.
And we mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, but Coach Spencer mentioned to us before the game Victor Ventura's name. He's on the rise a bit, but you see it there. The one thing Coach mentioned was he's able to create a lot with the puck, which you see there. He's able to drive that puck wide and find that guy in the back door. Unable to capitalize, but you want to be creating as many of those chances as you can, which they're doing a good job of right now.
Here's Kadlik racing after the puck, looking for a breakaway. He's got it. He shoots it, and a right pad save is made by Jackson. And he looks like he might be a little slow to get up. He's only faced 2 shots in this game, Mike. They were both breakaways.
Yeah, and he's handled both of them perfectly fine. I think Notre Dame coaches want a penalty shot here, I think, which I think they have an argument. You know, they dragged him down a bit, but, you know, when we talked to the Notre Dame coaches before the game, the one thing they mentioned, and you saw it in the interview, hard work is what they want to see from their guys right now. And that play right there, you see it. He outskates 2 defenders on St. Ignatius in order to create that chance. So they're doing a good job of working really hard and, again, staying patient on the defensive end and taking their chances when they can on the other side. There's just going to come down to whether they can capitalize at this point when they get these chances, because right now it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get many. But if they're able to generate a few while defending well, they'll be able to hang in this game here.
St. Ignatius right back in the attacking zone. At the right circle, it's Ryan. Here's a quick centering pass from below the goal line. It wouldn't go. Nice look there for the Wolfpack. Now finally it leaks into the blue paint, and quick to put a glove on it is Clark. 4:20 to go in this first period. Now 11 shots for the Wolfpack and just 2 for the Dons.
And St. Ignatius, we see them being a bit more aggressive, trying to attack the middle of the ice as much as they can. That was a strong move to the front of the net to try and create that chance. But again, Notre Dame's goaltender, Notre Dame's defenders doing a really good job of holding them to the outside and not giving anything up.
Face-off win for the Wolfpack. This shot gets deflected wide. Now here's Kadlik with it. And they are able to chip it out. That was Johnson. Now he's with the puck. Takes a hit on the near boards and loses it as a result. St. Ignatius going to get it back. Now cutting around everybody straight to the net and falling down while he takes a shot was Ryan. That was a great look. Just couldn't get it in the back of the net. Kadlik now arcs it out to the Wolfpack's end of the ice. It goes back to neutral. Kadlik right back in there. And getting it back one more time is St. Ignatius. Here's Steinlauf over the blue line. That looked close to offsides, but that was a 2-on-5 rush, and Notre Dame easily able to grab it. Now here's Keene. He will dump it in. St. Ignatius will grab it again. And if you're a Notre Dame Don faithful, you got to be happy with the way your team is playing. Sure, they're being outplayed, but you know, you may have flashbacks from that 6-0 first period, and to be scoreless at this point is certainly a good sign. Hockey's a funny game that way. It's just all about the chances you capitalize on, not the chances you get. Now St. Ignatius gets it back up high, left side. This shot is blocked. Adamski chasing after it. He's in a race with Chinland, and Chinland for the Wolfpack wins that one. Might have been a third breakaway if Adamski got to that puck first. Miskovich dumps it down left side. St. Ignatius will regroup here. Looking for the first strike of the game. Now Hester will get it down low. That deflected off the linesman. St. Ignatius trying to catch Notre Dame in a change. They get a pass up to Ventura, but the Dons steal it away. They get it back. Ventura tried to bank it off the goaltender. Pardon me, that was Hayes, but he could not. Now Austin Hayes with a nice no-look pass. Here's a shot and a score! What a pass and what a goal. James Gracie with the tally. It's his third of the year. And St. Ignatius rewarded for their pressure. They get the first goal of the game.
Yeah, really pretty play up top in the zone there. Kind of draw Notre Dame's defenders up high and able to create some space below them to get that shot through. And I think it just goes through the 5-hole of Clark. But like you said, Dylan, Notre Dame needs to continue to do exactly what they've been doing. They've hung tight in this game. It's only a 1-0 game with 2 minutes left in this first period. They've created some chances. They've done a lot of good things. So you just got to stick with it and try to eliminate as many of those chances as you can. But really, really, really nice play up top in that zone where you had 3 men high and able to get that puck through and in.
And I'm sure a little bit of relief for St. Ignatius as, they likely come into this game expecting to win by a pretty significant margin, especially after their first meeting. Keep harping on it, 6-0 after the first period on October 1st, last time these two teams played at Fifth Third. Now here's a one-on-one look. All James Gracie could do was get it down low, the goal scorer. And here's a big collision on the near side half boards. Meanwhile, Notre Dame steps over center red and gets it down low. Ladewski in there to pressure. Looking to steal the puck away from Ventura. He does. I'm not sure if that was a shot or a pass, but it was from an impossible angle. Then Foley misses the net high. Here's Johnson in the slot. Couldn't hang on to that. Foley gets it back on the right wing. Right circle. Tried a shot from another tough angle, but that one was in the skates of St. Ignatius. And it's punched back out to neutral ice. They will get a clear, but it was just before center ice. I thought it was going to be an icing. The referee, the linesman lifted his arm up.
Yeah, these linesmen are letting him play. The one guy called it, the other guy waved it off. I don't know if it got tipped, but I thought that should have been an icing for sure.
We'll play on in the final minute of this first period, 45 seconds to go. St. Ignatius races into the zone but couldn't get a shot away. Notre Dame with a pass out to Johnson. Johnson had a one-on-one look, but all he'll do is backhand it down. 7 points on the season for Michael Johnson, their leading point producer. 22 seconds left in the opening frame as it comes to the far side, right in front of the St. Ignatius bench. They will reset, and the Wolfpack looking for a last-minute second goal here. Only got 8 more seconds to do it as it goes to Cadlick. Now Delphos with it. And Notre Dame just trying to kill off the clock here. That's what they do. There's the horn. And after one, the shots on goal favor St. Ignatius by a count of 13-2, and the score of the hockey game 1-0.
Yeah, obviously St. Ignatius dominated time of possession, attack time in that period. But again, as Dylan, as you've mentioned, if you're on the Notre Dame side, you got to be happy with where you're at in this game. You've created a few chances, even though you only have 2 shots on net from those 2 breakaways. You spent that response after that goal was really, really good. Where you're able to get some pressure, get some sustained time in the offensive zone. So, you have a formula, you have an idea of what you need to be doing. It's just trying to be as consistent as you can and not spending as much time in your defensive zone as you have. But again, you're in a position right now where you can try and steal a goal and put yourself in it, give yourself a chance to win this hockey game. So you got to be happy with where you're at.
So in the Chicago Catholic Hockey League, of course, if you've been following this league for more than just this season, for quite a while there were 11 teams in the league. Carmel Catholic and Marist no longer a part of the CCHL. And by that schedule, it was a 20-game slate, and you'd play each other team twice. But now that there's only 9 teams in the league, you play everybody 3 times, just like the SHL. And this being their second meeting, they've got a third one coming up. And I thought that was something interesting to note, because when you play a team that you've played before, the game plan heavily relies on the previous meetings.
Yeah, and these are 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, right? So there is a tendency to overlook teams at times, which I don't necessarily know if that was the situation early in this game, but it's definitely something to be aware of, right? Like Notre Dame's a team that St. Ignatius is coming in ready to beat probably, especially after a 9-1 win. So just something to be cognizant of. But yeah, the 3 games is a lot different than 2, that's for sure, especially later in the season.
Well, it's no secret that the ice was a little bit tilted in the first period. Notre Dame's hoping that it's tilted the same direction as we've switched sides. Notre Dame now shooting from left to right. from right to left. St. Ignatius from left to right. Long change as well. Here's a centering pass to the slot. A quick rebound look on the backhand. That was off the stick of Ryan, but the save was made by Clark. He's looked pretty good so far.
And again, absolutely. The goalie's been playing really, really well. He's made some really nice saves, including that one there. But we're seeing a lot. Notre Dame's just clogging the middle of the ice. There's no room. There's no passing lanes for these guys to make plays, which can be very, very frustrating from the offensive team standpoint. And again, as I've mentioned before, patience is really important when you're playing that style of game against a really, really good hockey team in St. Ignatius. You just got to stay patient and wait for that chance. You've had 2 breakaways, and you expect to get another. So you just got to be patient and continue with that, because they're doing a good job of it right now.
One thing that Spencer Montgomery, of course, head coach of St. Ignatius, pointed out to us pregame as the goaltender avoids the icing here, is that they're a lot more of a heavy physical team that they've ever been, and they rely on their forecheck a lot. They take a lot of penalties. They've actually got 111 penalty minutes as that close look is stopped by Clark. That's most in the CCHL. That's a count of 13.8 penalty minutes per game. There was only 1 penalty in the first period overall in this game, and it was 6 seconds in by Notre Dame. So we'll see if that comes into play here in this one. Of course, the first time these two teams met, the game was full of penalties. McPartland got that on net, but it was saved by Cole Jackson, just his 3rd shot on goal faced of this game. Now Ignatius brings it into their attacking zone, getting it down low. It's Ventura with it below the goal line. Looking for a pass. He'll take the shot anyway. It was a tough angle, and it wouldn't go. Now this one is deflected wide and will go off the end boards. The Dons will grab possession and get it out to neutral ice. Now McPartland steals it away. Lemke out to neutral, but it's stripped out of his reach by Vega. Vega centers it. Here's a shot and a goal. Egan Ryan, the defenseman, gets his first goal of the CCHL season. And real quick into the second period, St. Ignatius has a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and a really, really nice play to find him cutting through the middle of the ice there. I was just about to mention, Notre Dame's done a really good job of keeping their 3rd forward high. You even see it here. They have their 3rd forward coming back with the play, but he's able to slot through those 2 defensemen and make a really nice pass, and Ryan's able to bury it. But again, Notre Dame's doing a good job. Against a good hockey team, they're going to take advantage of opportunities like that, so it's about limiting them as much as you can, but really nice play there.
And a nice flashy glove save right off the draw. Mentioned that is Ryan's first goal of this CCHL season. Perhaps he has some more in non-conference matches, but only had 2 points coming into this one. Hasn't missed a game for St. Ignatius in CCHL play. Has all 8 games played, and here in his 9th, his first of the year. So now it's a 2-goal margin. Looking to make it 3 with a quick shot was Gracie. He was trying for his 2nd one of this game. It wouldn't go. Now Johnson for the Dons. Near side corner. Battle for the puck, and St. Ignatius gets it back. Here's a long shot from the point by Gracie. It wouldn't go. James Gracie listed as a forward, but so far in this game, it seems as though he's playing at the defensive position. Now on the near side, they get it out. Here's a 2-on-1 for St. Ignatius. Chinland with the puck. He skates in, gets a centering pass, and is that in the net? It went off a Notre Dame stick. Looked like it was close to an own goal, but bailing out his own skater there was the goaltender Clark.
Yeah, and we've heard Chinland's name a lot tonight, or this afternoon, number 8 in white. He's been a really effective player this afternoon. Making a lot of plays, being patient, looking up ice, finding the open guy, and you see it again there where he's able to step, create a 2-on-1, and he's not able to get that pass through, but he's definitely a guy to watch moving forward throughout the rest of this game.
Yeah, without a question, he wanted to get the pass over.
And a good stick by Notre Dame, right, to break that play up. Obviously almost gets a bad bounce and goes in, but you know, if that puck gets through, it's an open net, so really good play.
CCHL game of the week, St. Ignatius and Notre Dame. If you're joining us late, St. Ignatius has been completely outplaying the Dons so far, 17-3, pardon me, in terms of the shots on goal, but just 2 goals to show for it. It could easily be 5 or 6-0 right now.
credit the goalie, Hugh Clark. He's been playing really well, and also credit defense, right? Another good stick in the slot to break up plays. They need to continue to do that and try and capitalize on a chance here.
Now the Wolfpack out to neutral ice. This touch pass for Ryan. Tiernan Ryan keeps a hold of the puck, and he loses it. Notre Dame tries to clear, but it's kept alive. Now it's Reiner. There's a giveaway, but Notre Dame can't get that out to neutral ice. They would have had a look. Here's a shot, save, rebound, and that just goes wide. Close look for the Wolfpack. Nothing to show for it. On the rebound, a shot by Moynihan. Wouldn't go either. 12:43 to go in the second. Centering pass. Quick shot and a nice save by Clark. And then afterwards, a little bit of physicality, as I'm not sure if that had something to do with the goaltender Clark or not. Maybe we can get a replay.
And fatigue is really important thing to pay attention to in these games. When you're playing a team like St. Ignatius, we see that puck just goes wide there. But when you're playing a team like St. Ignatius, their defensemen are so active, jumping into the play, stopping a lot of plays on the half wall where the wingers get tired trying to win those races over and over and over again. And we're starting to see it where they're not winning as many as they did in the first period, even though we're 5-6 minutes into the second. Over time, when you're trying to win them over and over again, it's really, really hard. So an adjustment that I'd like to see is Notre Dame's defense being a bit more patient, trying to make it direct passes to those wingers instead of rimming it around, making it a lot harder for them. But yeah, fatigue is really important when you're playing these games, and you're definitely starting to see it in Notre Dame right now.
St. Ignatius with a 7-1 shot advantage in the second period. Last time these two teams met, the Wolfpack finished the second period with a 10-9 lead in shots on goal. Of course, perhaps that might have been them slowing it down a little bit after a 6-0 first period. But in that game, Notre Dame controlled in the second period. They had a 3-1 goal total in the middle frame. But a different story here is it's a little bit of a closer game still in terms of the scoreboard. Now Ventura steals it away. Around one man, gets a shot away, blocked by the skates. Comes out to the right side. Slechter helping force that one out to neutral, but the Wolfpack going to keep control. And this one into the bench. I want to go to you, Mike, and talk about sort of the period of the long change. I alluded to it earlier, but if you don't know what that means, of course, when you switch sides, the benches stay the same, and for the first and third period, your bench is on your half of the ice. In the second period and in overtime, you switch ends, and it's a lot harder to come back and make that change in your attacking half, and especially in a game like this for Notre Dame when so much of the game is being played in their defensive end. That's going to be an interesting storyline as this second period continues.
Yeah, and it's really important that, again, as you mentioned, they're playing really well in their defensive zone, but when they get into the neutral zone, like situations like this, we get pucks deep behind their defense. They're going to get a power play here, but you need to get pucks deep onto the offensive side, make the defenseman turn and have to go get it below their goal line. If you aren't able to do that, it's really hard to get good changes. You end up getting stuck out there. You get tired. Like I said, that fatigue starts to be more and more of a factor. So, again, they haven't really had a lot of chances where they've been able to get pucks out of their defensive zone with speed, with possession. But again, that's an adjustment that they have to try to make here against, again, a defensive core in St. Ignatius that's being very active and aggressive on their blue line. But huge opportunity here on the power play in a 2-0 game with 11 minutes left in the second period. We'll see if they can take advantage.
Austin Haynes will go to the box. Again, this St. Ignatius team, which leads the CCHL in both penalty minutes in general and penalty minutes per game. Haynes is responsible for 0 of them, so he takes his first penalty of the year. Delphos shoots from the left side, and that was stopped. Just Notre Dame's 4th shot on goal of this game. They're looking to get a couple more with a man up. Up high at the point, it's Keene. That one's taken away by St. Ignatius, and Dennis Fensel lost an edge. He would have had a breakaway if he was able to stay on his feet. Now they clear it down. St. Ignatius looking to pressure while shorthanded. They have 2 shorthanded goals. That's tied for most in the CCHL. And Notre Dame actually has 8 shorthanded goals against already in just their 11 games played coming into this one. They're not going to let it happen in this instance, though, as Johnson races ahead of one defender. Didn't have a shot, so he goes down low, centers it. And a nice toe drag looking play, and the puck goes to Kyle Keene. He shoots, and that goes wide of the net. St. Ignatius now finally able to get it all the way down. The penalty actually not on the board here at West Meadows Ice Arena, and I didn't catch the time on the clock when it was taken, so sure.
I think it's like 9:15. I think he's out.
Something like that.
There.
Well, there's 9:50 to go, and so by that math, we've got more than half the power play already over. Now here's Adamski into the zone. He's got Delfas with him. Adamski shoots it. That was blocked by a skater, and then a collision by the net, and the goal comes off of its moorings. We'll take a whistle to reset that with 9:37 to go.
Yeah, I like the play there. Puck carrier kind of follows behind the guy who's driving to the net, which, obviously creates a screen. It creates a lot of time and space for yourself as that driver kind of pulls that defenseman back with him. But obviously unable to capitalize. But pretty good power play. I mean, they've spent most of the time in the offensive zone. They moved it around pretty good. A couple of decent chances. Obviously unable to capitalize, but something to build on moving forward. In these games, again, when you're playing a team like St. Ignatius, who's so good, you find little things to try to build on to try and scrape your way back into this game. Obviously, you're only down 2, but you're getting outshot by 16. So, you got to find something to build on. I thought maybe they're going to call penalty. He ran into the goalie, but they're going to let him play here. I think it's like 25 seconds left on the power play, so another good chance to see if they can try and do something here.
Well, a conversation between one linesman and one referee, and looks like they have decided to bring the face-off into the attacking zone for the Don. Spencer Montgomery on the bench is not happy about that decision. But the puck falls, and nothing you can do about it now. St. Ignatius will win the face-off. Notre Dame getting possession back. It's sent up high by Weber. Now here is Miskovich with the puck. Weber gets it back. Down below the goal line, Weber again shoots from the right circle, and covering his post nicely was Cole Jackson.
And good save by Jackson. Also not allowing a rebound, really important on power plays. But again, good sustained pressure. I like seeing Notre Dame moving the puck around a little bit more. I think they're hanging on to it for a little bit too long for my liking, but sometimes I'm nitpicky with that kind of stuff. But again, you're creating chances, you're moving pucks around, which is what you want on the power play. Again, against a team like St. Ignatius, who's able to create on the penalty kill, spending time in the offensive zone is really, really important. So good job by them here.
Here's a quick shot off the face-off. There wasn't a lot on it, and it missed the net. Delfas with a nice play with his glove to keep it in. He shoots that, deflected off something, and hit the post. Oh, and then it's covered by Jackson. That was easily Notre Dame's best look so far.
Yeah, that was a really, really nice shot. Looked like he went for... Well, it looked like he was just trying to shoot it. I think that went off a St. Ignatius player's blade and then off the post. But, that's what they have to do. If you're able to create turnovers in the offensive zone like that when guys are flying, Ignatius is trying to score goals right now. Obviously, they're trying to score as many as they can. But, if Notre Dame can take advantage of that, that would be really, really big. But a good chance there for sure.
Johnson keeps it alive. Gets a pass to Keene, and it's thrown to the net. And a great right pad save there by Jackson. And a slap shot is blocked and close. And it looked like for a moment Ventura was going to have a breakaway. Instead, he'll just lead the rush up. So now the penalty is over. So we're back to 5-on-5 hockey as the Wolfpack play catch with it. It's Chinland. And it goes down low. There's Vega with the puck. Now here's Gracie, who has a goal in this game. It was the opening tally. He cuts to the slot, and Delfas might have a breakaway here if he can catch up to the puck. He looks a little bit out of gas and stumbled a little too.
End of a shift for him, otherwise he would have had a breakaway. But really good recognition to get the puck up to him. Almost had it.
And now there's going to be a penalty on the trailing play. One of the St. Ignatius players has a man pinned to the ground, and they touch up. The whistle sounds. I think that was a hold I saw.
Yeah, I think Chinland's going to go for a holding behind the play. But we see it again there on that 2-on-1 when they almost were able to put that in for Notre Dame. Another turnover right at the blue line when they had 2 or 3 guys flying the zone. Something to pay attention to. Hopefully Notre Dame coaches are paying attention and can try and capitalize on that. But definitely something Ignatius needs to be aware of too. They can't be flying the zone. It's only a 2-0 hockey game here. Again, You come into these games expecting to win 6-7-0 every time. That's not going to happen. So you need to make sure that you're taking care of your defensive zone, not turning pucks over like that, and even more importantly, not taking penalties in a game like this where Notre Dame's kind of coming here. They're getting a little bit of momentum, and we know momentum is so important in high school hockey.
And they win the faceoff to start their second power play of the game and in the last 5 minutes of playing time. At the right circle, it's Johnson with the puck. He goes up high to McPartland. Now to the left side circle, it's Delphos. Keene now with it. Goes to the right circle again. This shot just missed. Notre Dame continues to control. It's Keene, left point, towards the net. Looking for a tip perhaps. He got it, but it went wide. Now here's Johnson. Delphos up high to Keene. Delphos again. Left side, he shoots, and that just missed. Maybe a piece for Jackson and net. Johnson gets it back. And St. Ignatius looks to clear. It's kept alive by McPartland. Great start here to the power play for Notre Dame. McPartland, his pass is intercepted, and it goes out to neutral ice. Looking to catch them for St. Ignatius is Steinlauf. He tried a centering pass, but it was blocked in close by the Dons. Again, remember, 8 shorthanded goals against for Notre Dame. This pass just misses Delphos. And no icing is the call. Then he takes a big hit into the end boards. That's easily a penalty. And we'll see how many minutes. He gets back up to his feet rather quickly, which is good news. But that was, in real time, a tough-looking collision.
Yeah, that didn't look very pretty. We'll see a replay here, obviously. But, yeah, Delphos kind of took – looks like he was a bit off balance. Lucky he's not hurt on that one. But, again, you know, not necessarily a dirty hit, but one that they're going to call every time in hockey today. But – one thing I wanted to note, too, for this Notre Dame team right now is they're doing a really good job on these shots from the point, keeping them low. They're getting a lot of tips, weird bounces, things like that, which, you know, in a game where, you know, like I said, you're struggling for chances, you're struggling to put pucks into the net, that's what you need to do. Make it really, really difficult for Ignatius to get blocks. And they're doing a really good job of it. One thing you see at this level a lot is guys teeing up big one-timers that, you know, are head high or whatever. They're doing a really good job of keeping these shots low, which, you know, leads to tips, which leads to chances, which leads to goals. So that's what you want to see. That 5-on-3 here, 6.5 minutes left. Huge opportunity in this game right now for them.
Major. And a smart timeout here by Notre Dame. I feel like if you're Notre Dame, you've got to be aware that you are getting the chances. You may not have as many of them, but you are getting good looks. You've had a couple of breakaways in this game and a couple of really close looks, especially that short side shot from the left circle on that power play. And as you just alluded to, 45 seconds is a long time for a two-man advantage, so they are going to look to capitalize here.
Yeah, and like you said, the momentum is so important in high school hockey, and they have it right now. The last 4, 5, 6 minutes, obviously they've been on the power play for 4 of them, or 3.5 minutes or whatever, but they've dominated play in the second half of this second period. So, you know, like I said, it's something to build on and definitely an opportunity for them to try and get within one here.
Notre Dame has 5 of the last 8 shots. Here's a shot towards the goal. It's just going to be a shot attempt as it was blocked. Delphos now with it. 3 skaters out for Notre Dame. Pardon me, 5 for Notre Dame, 3 for St. Ignatius. Delphos, he shoots, and a mask save by Jackson. We might have a shorthanded look here for St. Ignatius as they enter the zone just off sides. It was a close play, but they are flagged for it. And boy, would that have been something to see a shorty on a 2-man advantage.
Yeah, you don't see 2-on-1s on a 5-on-3 from the defending team very often, but really good save by Cole Jackson. Obviously hit him in the mask there, but you know, on a 5-on-3, you want to be moving pucks east to west to try and create as many shooting lanes as you can. So let's see if they can do that here.
Delphos to Johnson on a partial breakaway. Johnson looking for help, gets a pass over. Here's a shot and a score! Punching that one in is Kyle Keene. It's his second goal of CCHL play, and the Dons are right back in it with the power play goal.
And that play all starts in the neutral zone from this defenseman on the back end from Notre Dame, moving that puck up to Johnson, who's able to work it in, buy time, which is really important. You see him kind of slow down, wait for Keene to come in on the back door and make that pass right on the money, and he's able to put it through on Jackson. And very important part of that, 7 seconds left on the first penalty. So they're still going to have a minute and a half here of a power play to try and tie it up. But really, really good opportunity and a really good chance there to capitalize for them and make it a 1-goal game.
And still a minute and 20 seconds on the normal 5-on-4 power play for Notre Dame. They certainly have the momentum now. It's only a 21-11 shot disparity. At one point, I believe it was...
Whoa. I think it was 20-2 at one point.
So Notre Dame controlling. This is a clear by St. Ignatius. They're looking for a shorthanded goal. They haven't given up on that hope. But Notre Dame able to get it back out to neutral. Weber kicks it up to his glove, then settles it down. He drops it off. And Duffy towards the net. That was blocked by a stick. They'll try and clear, but it's kept alive. Hester, left point. Shot towards the net, save, rebound. Then on the backhand, Owen Weber just couldn't get it by. 30 seconds to go on this power play. Here's Schlechter. He shoots Weber on the deflection, and he put it wide. Then Keene again. Big slap shot and a big save and a clear.
Couple of really, really good looks on the power play there. They're moving around really good. I've been really impressed with their power play this afternoon. They're generating a lot of chances, moving it left east to west, which I talked about before, generating a lot of chances.
Johnson drops it off. Del Foss tried to go through the legs of Vega. He could not. St. Ignatius will clear it down. And that'll finish the second Notre Dame power play. So they're able to capitalize on the 5-on-3, but not on the second look. Here's a chance for St. Ignatius. A nice turnaround feed there by Gracie. He was looking for Vega. Then he couldn't tip it by on the turnaround chance. Johnson gets this one into the zone. 4 minutes and 25 seconds to go in the second period. It's a 1-goal lead for the Wolfpack. Now on the near side, the white sweaters will grab it. Vega, his pass is intercepted by Adamski, and then he was screened there by Dunley for the Wolfpack, unable to get a clean look on net. Now Ventura the other way, his shot partially blocked by Cadlick. Del Foss able to backhand it out. McPartlin picks it up. He's got a partial look. McPartlin got a shot away. It was contested, though. A St. Ignatius stick got on it, and it deflected wide. Now behind the Wolfpack net, they will work with the puck. It's Rogers with it. He'll go to the far side, and it's picked up by Gracie. He gets it out. Chasing after it is Ventura. Ventura looks like he's a bit out of gas, but he will center it to the blue paint area, and Vega couldn't tap it by. He's racing to the bench now to get a change. Schlechter to Dietzick. Intercepted. Here's a right circle shot taken by Reef, and it wouldn't go for St. Ignatius. Pass out to neutral, and the Dons couldn't hang on to that one. So St. Ignatius will reset in their own zone. 3 minutes to go till the Zamboni. Now here's Reef, his shot off the pad, and a loud thud on that save from Clark. Another centering feed, maybe an attempt to deflect it off the goaltender, wouldn't go. Then it gets tied up in the referee's skates, and Notre Dame ultimately able to get it out to neutral ice again. Centering feed off a skate. Notre Dame again. Here's Ladewski. He gets it to Johnson. Johnson with an assist in this game. It was on Notre Dame's only goal. He will get this one down below the goal line, and the Wolfpack will pick it up. And you got to think if you're St. Ignatius right now, you might be biting your fingernails a little bit. They're certainly hoping for another goal before this period expires. But Notre Dame's been playing a great defensive game. They've let up a lot of shots so far, but the goaltending's been sharp, and the shots that they have given up, not all that great looks. Hester now, left side. It's taken away by the Wolfpack. They get it out to center. Miskovich able to corral the puck and get it back into the zone. The Notre Dame bench upset about something, and a late arm up by the referee. And I think St. Ignatius has got themselves a delayed call here in terms of them being on the power play. They will enter the zone, 6 attackers out there. It goes below the goal line. Still with the puck is Chinlin. Then he takes a hit on the near side, and that'll draw the whistle. So Notre Dame not happy about this penalty, and St. Ignatius, in the final minute 24 of this period, will go back to the power play for the first time since the opening 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you saw it, Dylan. I'm not sure exactly what happened. They're calling a hook, but
I did not.
Obviously a huge opportunity for St. Ignatius. And you mentioned before they might be biting their fingernails. I think that, obviously you're frustrated that you haven't capitalized on chances. But the reason that you're in a tie game here is, number one, the goalie on Notre Dame's playing really good, Hugh Clark. And also you're taking penalties late in the second period in a tight game. Notre Dame's able to capitalize, but with an opportunity here, you can send a pretty big message by scoring a goal here in this game. But big kill here for Notre Dame.
Face-off win for St. Ignatius. Below the goal line. Now back up to the circle for Reiner. Down low, this is Ventura with it. It goes below the goal line for Ryan. Ryan with a pass to Reiner. Now here's a quick shot from the right side. It was stopped. Rebound is loose in the blue paint. They scramble for it, trying to get it by, but Clark holds his ground and lays on top of it head first in the last minute of this period.
Yeah, a couple of weird bounces in front of the net. Not sure exactly what happened. Looks like we're going to get a replay here. Yeah, so many situations when you see plays like that, it ends up in the back of the net. But good job by Notre Dame. Again, they've done. I mentioned a handful of times. They've done a really good job protecting the middle of the ice. They continue to do it there. So definitely really important. They continue to do that for the last 50 seconds this period here.
Ventura left side gets a shot away, and a tough angle save is sort of an easy one for Clark. 37 seconds left in this period. St. Ignatius continues to control. Here's Chinlin. He scores! From the blue line, an innocent-looking shot beat Clark, maybe a screen in front, and the power play marker for the Wolfpack restores their 2-goal lead.
Yeah, penalties against a team that's on paper better than you is going to be a real killer. And Chinlin, we've mentioned his name. We've talked about how he's going to be a really effective player for this team this year. He's able to find a seam and beat the goalie on the glove-hand side. But, again, they work that puck around so well on the power play. They have so many players, so much talent in that five-man group. It's really hard to defend them for that long. So really good job by them to capitalize in the last 40 seconds here in this period.
With that goal, Chinland records goal number 5, point number 8. Now advances to sole possession of second place on the team for points so far in this CCHL season with that. 13 seconds to go. Notre Dame desperate to not allow another one before the break. St. Ignatius enters. It's Steinlauf. Centering feed and a quick shot right side is stopped. That was Hollub with the try.
Absolutely massive save by Clark there to keep this a 2-goal game going into the third. Looks like St. Ignatius is going to pull Cole Jackson with 2 seconds left on the clock in an offensive zone draw. You don't see many coaches do this. I like the move. We talked about it on the broadcast before. I can't remember which game it was, but 2 seconds is a perfect number for them. So let's see what they're able to draw up here. 6 guys on the ice for St. Ignatius right now.
The faceoff will be taken by Ventura. A rare number 2 for a forward on his jersey.
I like it. I like the number 2 as a forward.
Yeah, me too. I feel like you don't see those single-digit numbers a lot on forwards, but it's a nice change of pace.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you pointed out 2 seconds here and not able to get anything going. That's going to be the end of the period. So the Dons get one back on the 2-man advantage goal, but another power play goal by the Wolfpack restores their 2-goal lead, and the teams will head into their locker rooms with a 3-1 hockey game that favors the visiting Wolfpack. I like what I've seen from Notre Dame so far, and you got to think they do too down on the bench. Players and coaches, personnel, fans here otherwise happy with the performance.
Yeah, I think that goal at the end really, it'll settle a few heartbeats on the St. Ignatius side, being up 2 going into the third, but I think that they should be comfortable with where they're at. They've outplayed them 5-on-5 here in this game. And from Notre Dame's standpoint, I think you're exactly right. Obviously, that's a pretty deflating goal at that point, late in the period when you're within 1. You want to get to that at the end of that period and get in the locker room with, a 1-goal hockey game. But, again, you got to be happy with where you're at with a chance to go out in this third period and win a hockey game. And, that's what they're going to try and be talking about in that locker room to find a way. What do they have to do that? So it'll be an exciting third here. But, I think both teams feel like they're in a good place, I think, honestly, right now. So we'll have to see how it plays out here.
All right, well, we will take our headsets off and roll some highlights for you while the Zamboni takes care of business at West Meadows Ice Arena. But don't go anywhere. A lot of hockey to be played. The third period coming up shortly, and just before the third, we will hear from head coach of the Wolfpack, Spencer Montgomery. Stay right here with us on YouTube. We are back live on the CCHL network for the conclusion of the game of the week. Notre Dame here at home down 3-1 to the St. Ignatius Wolfpack as they look for a comeback and, frankly, an upset. St. Ignatius looks to finish off this one with 2 points and hold their lead. We're going to send it down to Mike Doherty, who's currently standing by with the head coach of St. Ignatius, Spencer Montgomery. Mike, take it away.
Thanks, Dylan. All right, Coach, your first time on the broadcast with us this year, so first and foremost, congratulations, win the Kennedy Cup last year, first time in the program's history. What was the message to this group? Obviously, a lot of turnover, a lot of new faces. What was the message coming into the season to get ready to repeat that?
Yeah, the message coming in is there's no reason to have a setback. We have a culture, we have a standard, so how quickly can we get to it? And then from there, it's how do you elevate until February, March when playoff time comes around.
3-1 hockey game. 2-goal game against a team you should be beating on paper. What's the message going into this third period?
Yeah, everything for us starts with our forecheck and hard work. Fundamentally, if we do those things correctly and the small things, we're going to be in position to win a hockey game. But I do feel like we're throwing pucks around. We want to possess. We want to play below the dots. But we'll look for a fast start in the third to hopefully put this game out of reach.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you, Mike. As that was Mike Doherty talking to Spencer Montgomery, the newly promoted head coach of the St. Ignatius Wolfpack. We alluded to it earlier in the broadcast. The former coach up until last season, Matt Smith, got a job with the Buffalo Sabres of the NHL. I believe he's the video coach over there, so obviously a big congratulations to him. Probably one of my favorite coaches to discuss with coming into the CCHL network. Very animated human being, and if anybody out there has met him personally, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But Spencer Montgomery, the assistant from last season, now the head coach position, and always dresses to impress behind the St. Ignatius bench, wearing the off-colored pink shirt and the purple tie. So the puck falls in the third period, and we're underway. 17 more minutes on the clock to decide this one, as a fresh sheet of ice. Notre Dame back into their first period fixture of shooting from left to right, and St. Ignatius from right to left. We have a quick whistle for an offsides, and we'll drop the puck in neutral ice just 15 seconds into the period, and welcome back to the booth, Mike.
Here we go. Big third here. Let's see what we got.
Here's Johnson for the Dons. He comes in there, dropped it off for Keene. Kyle Keene, number 82 out there, the only Notre Dame player without a nameplate on his jersey, has the only goal for the Dons of this game. It was his second of the season, and it was on a two-man advantage power play. Here come the Wolfpack into the attacking zone. Drop-off pass. Here's a centering feed and a quick tip. Trying to get that through the five-hole there was Tiernan Ryan, but he could not. And boy, Hugh Clark in net for Notre Dame has had a pretty solid game to this point. Now here come the Dons the other direction. Duffy, but they're off sides. And the St. Ignatius bench was quick to let the linesman know about that. 15:56 to go in this third.
Yeah, and Tiernan Ryan is a name we haven't heard much from today. Definitely a player on this team that's expected point per game player so far. I think he's got 6 or 7 on the game and 7 games or on the season and 7 games played. So expecting a big third from him too to step up and lead this team to a win, hopefully.
Now it's Adamski. He gave it up. Taking the puck away for the Wolfpack is Steinlauf, and this one goes down into the Dons' end. Shots on goal heavily favor St. Ignatius, 27-14, but it wasn't till the last minute of the second period that they were able to capitalize and get themselves back to a 2-goal margin, 2-goal lead, I should say. Notre Dame's been playing them really well, and sort of, as you alluded to, a team that maybe you should be beating on paper. There's a reason why you come to the rink and play the games. Here's a wraparound attempt there by Notre Dame. Adamski couldn't get it by. Now this clearing attempt kept in by Zygmunt, but then it does force out. Notre Dame will keep possession up and make a couple switches and dump this one in. Sort of a slow start here to this third period. Not a lot of whistles, though, as this long pass finds Ryan. Partial breakaway. He puts it through the legs of one defender, but lost the puck, and it's taken away by Notre Dame. Board battle right in front of the Dons players who are not on the ice on the bench, and it goes the way of St. Ignatius. They will bring it into the zone. Here's Tiernan Ryan with the puck. He got it back to the left circle. Now left point, it's Rogers. He shoots, and that's blocked. Notre Dame maybe with a 3-on-2 here if they hurry, but they're just going to elect to dump it down and make a couple of changes. Losing an edge there for the Wolfpack was Rogers, and St. Ignatius able to keep the puck. Notre Dame with the only shot on goal of this period so far. St. Ignatius trying to get there first. Here's a quick shot and a goal. What a move there by Dennis Fensel. Not only his first goal of the season, but his first point, and he makes it a 4-1 game.
Yeah, and Notre Dame's done such a good job not allowing odd man rushes. That was a one-on-one play where he's able to make a really nice cut to the middle. But, again, you have to make sure that if you're going to step as a defenseman on the strong side, it has to be 1,000%, because good teams like St. Ignatius is going to make you pay for those mistakes, and they did so right there. Good for Fensel to get his first point on the season, first goal of the season. But again, you can't be making those mistakes when you're down 2 goals in a tight game. Just really disappointing from the Notre Dame side.
Sort of the same vibe as Chinlin's goal late in the second period. It was a very innocent-looking play, but somehow, some way, Fensel able to pull it to his forehand and get a clean shot away directly to the back of the net. And so now we've had a little bit of a break, but Notre Dame, in terms of game time, have now allowed a couple of goals in the last 5 minutes after they had a bit of momentum towards the middle part and end of that second period. Stick goes flying as Keene tries to get in there. Johnson, he shoots and it just goes wide. Kept alive by Foley, left point. Fighting for possession of that puck. It comes outside the zone. Here's a steal. Victor Ventura's got a 2-on-1. Gracie to his left. Ventura scores! No elevation needed. He beat the 5-hole of Clark, and suddenly it's a 5-1 game.
And I'm going to say it again. It's the 3rd time tonight they've scored a goal on this exact situation, where we see on the replay here, it was a bit before, where the strong side defenseman steps. If you're the strong side defenseman, for any young hockey players out there, if you're the strong side defenseman, let's make sure we are not stepping unless we're 1,000%, right? You get beat, you leave your partner out to dry. It ends up being a 2-on-1. He's not sure which guy to play. He lets the goalie take the shot, and Ventura is able to beat him. So, again, just a breakdown that, hopefully you can learn from moving forward in this season, but too many times in this game against a team that's too good that's going to capitalize on opportunities like that.
Got a great mind, great coaching mind to my right here in Mike Doherty.
I've seen a lot of St. Ignatius and Notre Dame in my time, so I know what they try to do, and the speed is something that they love to take advantage of, and definitely if you make mistakes against them, they're gonna make you pay. That's something Coach Spencer really preaches, and his players buy into it, no doubt about that.
Adamski able to force it to neutral, but right to the stick of St. Ignatius. They are offsides on this zone entry. 12:07 to go in the 3rd period, and Mike, we were just getting done talking about how close of a game this was. It wasn't until the end of the second period that Notre Dame was within 1. Now they've got a huge mountain to climb with 12:07 to go.
I think that 3rd goal at the end of the second really hurt Notre Dame. I think if it was a 2-1 game coming into this 3rd, it'd be a different story. But one thing Coach Montgomery mentioned when I talked to him before the interview was, they work really hard and they don't quit. So I expect them to keep coming here. Again, we're down in our offensive zone immediately after a goal, so that's always a good thing. But it's hard to keep up with a team like St. Ignatius when they have so much speed and talent on the front end.
Down the left wing, Reef was being pressured, so he couldn't get a shot away. Now a pin up on the near corner. They're able to clear it, but not out of the zone. This shot goes wide. St. Ignatius continues to work in their attacking end. Left point now, spinning around and just keeping it on sides is Rogers. It goes to the corner. Now the near side corner, Ladewski takes control and gets it to Schlechter. Schlechter gets it down low, and he will race off the ice for a change. Now here's Miskovich in neutral ice. He will get this one down low, and it's picked up by the Wolfpack. 10:55 to go in regulation time. It's a 5-1 advantage for the visiting Wolfpack. They're trying to make it 6 on this breakaway. Tiernan Ryan, he shoots, and it just goes wide of the net. I don't believe Clark got a piece of that one. St. Ignatius really has found their footing here early in this third period. And they're getting the goals in the back of the net, sort of the way they probably expected to coming into this one. Took them a while to get their footing. They certainly had the chances, but Notre Dame's goaltending and defense was just stellar in that first period. First 2 periods, the shot from the right side never made its way on net. It deflected wide. And a nice keep in there at the right point. It'll go down to the corner, and here's Shannon with it. Alex Shannon. Turnover, and it comes back out to neutral for the Dons. Now at the left point, towards the net, but it deflected high on the rebound. Ventura, and he's stopped. He was looking for his second goal of this game.
Yeah, really nice save by Clark there. But, you know, we praised Notre Dame in the first and second period by how hard they work, by hanging in this game. But, again, I'm going to yell at them one more time. I'm just going to harp on it because I see it again. It doesn't lead to a goal, but it leads to a breakaway. Where the strong side D is stepping again. I mean, from a coaching perspective, that's something that you got to start to preach. It's something you got to start to teach and hold these kids accountable to make sure that they're not making mistakes like that. Because, again, when you play good teams, which there's a lot of good teams in this Catholic League, they're going to take advantage and they're going to make you pay. So just something for you to pay attention to in this game. And you see, from the other side, Ignatius isn't really doing it. So, again, you know, you see the difference in the chances. So just something to pay attention to.
Now here's Johnson. He drops it off. Entering the zone here for Notre Dame is Delphos. He loses the puck, and it comes back out to neutral ice. Victor Ventura trying to sidestep Kadlik. He's able to get a shot away, and that's another save.
And there we go again. The strong side defenseman there is able to back off, and it's a 2-on-2 rush instead of a 2-on-1. Huge difference for the goaltender. It's a lot easier to play that rush once a 2-on-2 compared to a 2-on-1. You don't really have to worry about the pass. You just worry about the shot. He's able to corral that, not give up a big scoring chance. So, you know, again, hopefully they're making that adjustment down on the bench from the Notre Dame perspective.
5 unique goal scorers for the St. Ignatius Wolfpack on this Saturday afternoon matinee in Rolling Meadows. Chicago Catholic Hockey League action. St. Ignatius looking to improve their perfect start to a 9-0 count in terms of conference play. Now this pass missed everybody, and looks like we have our icing waved off here. They're going to let him play with 8:22 to go in a 4-goal game. Here's a long pass. Just not able to pick it up is Weber, and coming way out of his net to get a glove on it was Jackson. That was a risky play there, but he was able to get a glove on it.
Yeah, and a dangerous play at that. I mean, he's putting himself in harm's way, but, you know, got to do what you got to do to make that play, and he does a good job of corralling it and getting the whistle. But, you know, I mentioned what Coach Spencer said to me earlier. There's no quit in this Notre Dame team. They're still coming. They're still working hard. Again, a lot of time spent in their defensive zone, but they're still trying to look for that odd man break, look for those chances to try and scrape their way back. Still 8 minutes left. You got to keep working.
Face-off win for Iggy. And in their own zone, they will look to play it back, but it's taken away by Keene. Keene dropped it off. Johnson in there. Johnson and Keene connected on the Notre Dame goal. Now out to Foley. Towards the net, blocked by a leg. And it's played off the glass and all the way down. McPartland couldn't hang on to this puck, so he'll chase it down below his own goal line, being majorly pressured here by St. Ignatius, and he takes a collision into the boards. Now a penalty's going to be called here against Notre Dame. 6 attackers out there on the delayed penalty. Here's Gracie. He gets it over to Ryan. towards the net, saved and controlled by Keene. No goals to call here. The whistle was intended to be blown before the puck crossed the goal line. And for the fourth time of the game, we're going to see for the third time of the game, we're going to see a power play for St. Ignatius.
Yeah, just a frustration penalty by McPartland. I think he was annoyed that he got attacked so hard in the defensive end, but in a game when you're 5-1, when you were in it for so long, and it kind of slipped away so quick, it's to be expected to a degree to start taking these kind of penalties. But good chance for St. Ignatius to really put a dagger in and kind of end this game right now.
Joe McPartland leads this team in CCHL penalty minutes with 14 coming into this one. There is 15 and 16 for number 18 in green. St. Ignatius 1 for 2 on the power play. Their one tally came at the end of the second period. They're looking for another. Here's a quick shot, and just missing the crossbar was Chinland. Chinland was the scorer of that power play goal, by the way. He's now got 4 power play tallies for St. Ignatius in the CCHL. That is a team leader. Now left side. Here's another goal, this time by Jack Reiner. It's his 4th of the year, and he has just initiated a running clock in Rolling Meadows.
And the captain of the St. Ignatius team, leadership is so important in a season for a hockey team. And obviously, in this game, they're gonna come away with a win, up 5 with just over 6 minutes left to play. But Dylan, you mentioned before, 6 different goal scorers this afternoon for St. Ignatius, and depth is so important in high school hockey, especially later on when you get into playoffs, into that state tournament and into the Kennedy Cup playoffs. So really nice to see how deep this Ignatius team is, and a real powerhouse in what has become a real powerhouse in this Catholic League in the last handful of years. So obviously they have a lot of guys who can do a lot of things, and they're missing a handful of guys in this game too. So as we said at the beginning of the broadcast, it's to be expected at this point from St. Ignatius, but that depth is really impressive.
So of course now with the running clock, if you want to set your phones to a 5.5-minute timer, you can actually see the live time of this game as we get down to 5:45 exactly in this third period. This one's going to be dumped in by St. Ignatius. And Mike, it certainly wasn't the start that Spencer Montgomery and his crew were hoping for, but the goal at the end of the day was 2 points, and they've had the lead all game long, and it wasn't until this third period that they really came out firing, and now they have forced the running clock here as it continues to run.
Yeah, and we talked about it earlier too, but maybe not the start on the scoreboard that they would have liked, but from a 5-on-5 how they're playing perspective, I think they've done a really good job. They've dominated, I'd say, 80% of this game 5-on-5. So a few penalties that led to that goal, but a really good job by Notre Dame to hang in there for the first 2 periods. Unfortunately, not able to find a way in this third, but again, no quit. They're still working hard. They're still trying to find a few goals here.
Here's a quick chance. Johnson looking for his second point of the game. Wouldn't happen there, but the Dons keep controlling. Here's Weber down to Johnson. Left side corner. He gets pushed into the boards, and St. Ignatius going to force the puck away. Now it comes to the far side half boards and eventually out to neutral ice. 4:25 on the running clock. A 6-1 lead for St. Ignatius. They're still hungry. As they go down below the goal line, it's Michael Hollab, but Notre Dame able to pick this one up and try and get it out. Kept alive. For Notre Dame, as this slot shot is blocked by the skate, certainly got to be happy with, in general, how you've started in CCHL play last year. Of course, a 2-18 record for them at the end of it. They did not make the playoffs in a league where 8 out of 11 did. Here's a nice move in on net. Backhand try and a nice glove save. Nice little move there from Tiernan Ryan, but it wouldn't go. But anyway, Notre Dame already with 3 wins in the CCHL, 2 overtime points as well. It's definitely a better start, but they've sort of lost that opening season magic as of late.
Yeah, and like you mentioned earlier on, there's 9 teams in this league. 8 are going to make the playoffs, so you just can't be the last team at this point. So good opportunity for them, and that good start can really propel them to make a playoff spot when, to my recollection, having coached in the Catholic League for the last handful of years, I don't remember them being in the playoffs for the last few years. So, if you can find a way to scrape in, you never really know. It's a 3-game series, so, good opportunity for them to continue this and try to find points, find wins wherever they can throughout this season.
Well, Notre Dame's got the second most games played in the CCHL coming into this one. They will tie Providence for 12 after this one's all said and done. Got themselves 8 points in these 12 games. Of course, that's assuming that this one turns out to be a loss for them. But, right now they sit in 6th place in the CCHL game. A couple of teams behind them with games in hand. But right now, Mount Carmel looks like they are probably going to be that team that misses out. They are 0-9 so far with a -42 goal differential. Just 7 goals scored in 9 contests for Mount Carmel.
Which is surprising. I coached Fenwick last year. We played them a handful of times, and they looked pretty good. So they must have lost a handful of seniors, which is, that happens in high school hockey. But that's a good program, a storied program that's been around for a long time, and expect them to bounce back in the coming years. But, yeah, obviously a down year for them. But it opens up an opportunity for somebody else like Notre Dame to get into the playoffs and try to make some noise.
Under 2 minutes to play now. So we will get ready to hear from a St. Ignatius player following this victory as we inch down to the final moments of this one. McPartland out to neutral, taken away by St. Ignatius. They're going to go 9-0 on the season here and improve their goal differential if everything stays the same to +31, maybe +32. That one off the post, perhaps off the goaltender, but that looked like it drew iron. Didn't hear much of a ting, though. Now here's another shot and another save and an early whistle. Referee says sorry about that as we get down to 1 minute remaining. And Hugh Clark has had a phenomenal game in net in spite of allowing 6. He's made 29 saves, and a lot of them were very impressive looking. Tested a couple times on some odd man rushes and really saved the day. This could easily be 12-13-0 based on the way St. Ignatius has been playing, as that's another whistle. 30 seconds now on the running clock, and we'll see if they bother dropping the puck one more time. Well, they're certainly stalling here. The clock gets down to 10 seconds, and yeah, that's going to do it. Game over. St. Ignatius victorious by a final score of 6-0 as Cole Jackson, the backup goaltender, makes 18 saves on the 19 shots he faced. The only goal he let up was a power play tally against, and it was a 5-on-3 type of play. And the teams will shake hands at center ice, and Mike Doherty now down at ice level. We will hear from him in a moment, but an all-around team win for the Wolfpack. 6 unique goal scorers tonight. James Gracie with the first one, Egan Ryan with the second, Dennis Fensel with the third, Colum Chinland with the fourth, Austin Haynes with the fifth, and most recently, that was actually Victor Ventura with the fifth, and most recently Jack Reiner. Handshakes are commencing, and Mike Doherty stands by. A 6-0 final score. Shots on goal favored the winning team in the Wolfpack 35-19. And now it looks like we are ready to send it down to Mike Doherty. He is standing by with James Gracie, who scored the first goal of this game. And Mike, whenever you're ready. Or actually, we'll wait 1 second. Now go ahead.
All right, thank you, Dylan. I'm here with Jimmy Gracie, first goal tonight. Jimmy, what's the feel in this locker room? You guys are 9-0 in the Catholic League. Obviously took care of Notre Dame this afternoon for the second time this year. How are we feeling?
We're excited. We're excited for this season. We're coming off a big season last year. That intensity is still there. A lot of youngness in our group. So we're excited to have that, and we're excited for what the future brings.
And you're one of the few returning varsity guys on this team, obviously a senior this year. What kind of things are you trying to bring as a veteran leader on this team? Obviously, getting the first goal tonight's huge to set the tone. What kind of things are you looking to bring in the locker room?
Well, you said it. I mean, to set the tone, really. We started off a little lackadaisical, I'd say. A little out of it. We weren't really taking it seriously. Thought we could just breeze right past it, but something really clicked. And I think it was a few weeks ago that we really, we're in this. We're in this for state. We're in this for the Kennedy Cup, obviously, and we want to see whoever it is at the United Center.
We look forward to seeing how you guys finish out. Good luck. Thanks. Dylan, back to you.
Thank you very much, Mike. As the Zamboni officially on the ice, the nets are being dislodged, and hockey is done here on the CCHL Game of the Week. A 6-1 final score for St. Ignatius, 6 unique goal scorers, and an all-around team win. And you heard it there from Jimmy Gracie, the now senior returning varsity player. Has a lot of leadership roles now, him being a veteran. A lot of guys left this St. Ignatius team, but the program continues to prove itself as top tier in this state of Illinois. And we will wait for Mike to get back up here to see if he has any final thoughts before we sign off. Zamboni is making its round and 9-0-0. And, we heard from Jimmy Gracie that, they didn't come out firing at first. They kind of fell into a trap there with Notre Dame, but ultimately they regrouped, and in that intermission, I'm not sure what Spencer Montgomery said to the boys, but clearly something clicked for them, and they were able to get it done.
And Jimmy mentioned it there, and Spencer just mentioned it to me as he was walking off the ice, pretty much exactly as they drew up for that third period, closing this game out. But got to credit Notre Dame for the first 2 periods. They looked pretty good, able to compete and play at a high level against this team who, as Jimmy Gracie just mentioned, they have their sights set high. They were able to win the Kennedy Cup, but were eluded.
Some big words in that interview.
I mean, they're hungry. You could tell. Those kids are excited. They're fired up to get a win, even against a team that on paper, again, as we've said, they expect to beat. But you got to get up for every single game. You never know. Every team's going to bring their best, especially as the reigning champ. As a returning champ, you got to try and defend. You got to try to repeat. So excited to see how their season ends up. But, obviously a good job today taking care of business and coming out with the win.
Well, 9-0-0 is a pretty darn good way to start, no matter what league or level you play in. And St. Ignatius has done just that, keeping their opening season streak perfect. We thank you so much for tuning in to the CCHL Game of the Week. Matt Budin on the camera, Jimmy Olson, as always, our technical engineer, and it was Mike Doherty to my right. My name is Dylan Ward, hoping you enjoyed. One more time, St. Ignatius 6 and Notre Dame 1. Wolfpack winners on the road. We will see you next time. Have a great rest of your weekend.